This morning on GMSA at 9, the latest on former U.S. Marine Trevor Reed's condition as he recovers here in San Antonio after being released from captivity by Russia. How his parents say he's doing.
And the mother of three's quick actions may have saved her family. However, San Antonio police are still trying to determine if this deadly shooting was in a case of self-defense.
And as we try to get back to pre-pandemic life, educators are also having to evaluate how the pandemic has affected students, why they fear some kids have fallen way behind. We'll explain coming up on GMSA at 9.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Hi there. Good morning. It is Friday, April 29th.
Happy Friday. Thanks for joining us. Yes, we're starting off humid, and yes, it's going to be warm, but maybe breezy, though.
Maybe breezy, and it's quite drizzly out there right now. Some of you are reporting some very light mist in some areas. We're kind of murky here in the downtown area.
Let's go ahead and look outside with a live cam right now at that murkiness. Well, actually, that shot doesn't look as bad at 71 degrees.
A little less murky.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have had some drizzle off and on. I think that's going to start to kind of wind down here next hour or so. Cloud cover will eventually break up too. So very similar to yesterday, we'll see those warm temperatures by this afternoon. Right now, sitting at 71 degrees at the airport, 74. Pleasanton, 67 in Kerrville. Pretty typical late April numbers. And so are the afternoon highs. 89 degrees today is what we're shooting for. 88 Saturday. We'll do it all again tomorrow, by the way. Some of the morning drizzle, cloud cover. Could even see a couple showers, but then some afternoon sun. Sunday, we'll be watching for some storms late in the day. Some of those could work their way towards San Antonio early Monday morning. So a lot to look at there over the weekend and as we get into next week. The radar showing us just, again, some very, very late returns. And that basically is in the form of that light drizzle that we talked about. So there could be a few slick roads here and there. Pollen count is in. Mold still high, 5,740. Oak is moderate at 380. Pecan and grass both low. So mold's holding strong there to finish out the work week, unfortunately. Here's our forecast, our KSAT 12-hour forecast. 80 degrees by noontime. Clouds begin to break up. And then we get into the upper 80s this afternoon, around 89 degrees for high today. Southerly winds will be gusty, anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusting a little bit higher than that. As we get into this evening, we fall back down into the 80s and eventually 70s. Pretty nice evening. We're going to talk about some of those small rain chances we have over the weekend coming up in just a few minutes, guys.
Thank you, Justin. Let's check TransGuide right now, and the morning commute is winding down. Traffic looks great at I-10 at Proban, 35 at 37. Other than a stalled vehicle or two, things are wrapping up nicely on this Friday morning.
San Antonio police say what appeared to be a home invasion took a deadly turn. They say a woman shot and killed a man who was breaking into her home.
It happened in a neighborhood on the city's southeast side, not far from East South Cross and Pecan Valley Road. Katrina Weber there with the story and tells us police are still trying to decide if this is a case of self-defense.
San Antonio police say that all the information they have right now is preliminary, but they are still investigating. They say the woman told them that she shot the man in order to protect her home. Now that's about a block away from here in the 600 block of Cashmere Place. Police say that they found the woman, who's in her 30s, inside her home along with her 3 children when they arrived around 10 last night. They say she told them that she heard someone break into her laundry room on the back side of the home on Cashmere Place. She told police when the intruder tried to get through a second door, she grabbed a gun and fired. The man was hit in his chest and died on the way to the hospital. We don't know anything else about him at this point, but police say that they plan to learn more about what happened as they continue their investigation. Reporting from the southeast side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
The top stories we are following today: a local elementary school vice principal facing charges on allegations of injury to a child.
53-year-old Tara Coleman Hunter is accused of physically assaulting a 5-year-old boy in her office. Now, the incident happened a week ago today at the Idea Elementary School on the southwest side near Highway 90 and Loop 1604.
According to Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar, the boy's mother reported the incident to deputies, and when they spoke with the young boy, his story was consistent with what his mother had said. Deputies applied for a warrant for injury to a child and went to Hunter's home to make an arrest. Hunter now charged with bodily injury to a child, which is a third-degree felony.
Testimony continues today in the trial of Angelica Navarro de Paz. She's accused of hiring an undercover officer to kill her boyfriend's sister.
Yesterday, a jury got to hear from her. She took the stand, but testimony did not last long. The judge dismissed the jury after Navarro de Paz's attorney asked her about claims of violence against her family.
However, jurors did hear a taped conversation between her and the undercover officer she allegedly hired. Navarro de Paz faces 5 to 99 years or life in prison if found guilty.
And one of the victims of the deadly shooting over on Fredericksburg Road Wednesday evening has now been identified. According to the medical examiner, he was 40-year-old Evan Scott.
Scott and 2 women were sitting inside a car in a parking lot between a bar and an apartment complex on Fredericksburg Road when police say someone pulled up and fired multiple shots inside that car. Scott and one of the women died.
The other woman in the car was injured and taken to a hospital. Right now, detectives have very little to go on. They're asking anyone who may have seen or heard anything to please report it. In your other morning headlines, we'll tell you about the first American to die fighting over in Ukraine, and Trevor Reed's parents are reacting to their son's health.
Plus, a burglar has a message for his victims, and inside a shark. David Sears is here to explain all this.
When you say inside a shark, we mean literally inside
A shark.
Okay.
Have that for you in just a second, but first let's start with this. The first American soldier fighting in Ukraine has died. He is former Marine, 22-year-old Joseph Cancel. He was fighting alongside Ukrainian forces. He actually worked for a private military contracting company. He leaves behind a 23-year-old wife and 7-month-old son. His wife says he went there wanting to help people. It was his mission. She also said she did not expect to be a widow at 23. In the meantime, Russia continues their relentless attack on the capital of Kyiv. Back here at home, President Biden is looking to Congress to grant him another $33 billion to give to Ukraine to help them fend off the Russians. $20 billion of the $33 for military assistance, the rest for humanitarian assistance. After spending 3 years in a Russian prison, former Marine Trevor Reed released yesterday. We saw a glimpse of Reed when his jet landed at Joint Base Lackland here in San Antonio early yesterday morning. Reed and his parents talked while he was actually on the plane coming home, and then they got to see Trevor when he landed here in San Antonio. His parents were there to greet him and were thankful that they finally had a chance to spend some time with him. About a couple of hours before he even got to San Antonio, though, his mom and dad saw him on TV and were immediately worried about him and his health.
We don't really have a whole lot of answers yet. Still pretty early. He's getting some testing done. He is at a top-notch medical facility, and he's getting great care. So we're excited about that, but we won't really know more for a few days. It was great. Yesterday we got to see him for a couple of hours. It was the first time we got to hug him. It was heaven.
Yeah, that top-notch care she's talking about is physical care and being offered pretty intensive psychological counseling and support here at GMSA. All right, this one's a little creepy and scary at the same time. It's a man standing over a couple while they were sleeping after breaking into their apartment. This happening in San Bernardino, California. To add a little more creepiness to it, there was another adult in the living room. She was caring for the couple's son. The man told her, "You should lock your doors." Really? It's not safe around here. The guy got away with jewelry, including wedding rings, and $4,000 the couple was going to use to pay back rent.
I get it. You want to break into somebody's house. You need money for whatever. You need money for, okay, whatever, you know, like, but why are you standing there staring at us? Like, what?
When he gained entry and found out that there were occupants of the residence, the fact that he didn't flee at that time is surprising and shocking.
One of those window air conditioner units had been taken out of the window, and that's how the burglar got in. The guy has been arrested. And finally this morning, we're going to leave you with this, an up-close and personal look inside a tiger shark. Yes, that's inside the tiger shark. This is all happening in the Indian Ocean. These guys shooting a documentary when the shark decided to take matters into her own mouth.
No.
Pretty good look right there. The filmmaker and his friends trying to show the good side of sharks. They hate the portrayal of sharks as killers. The shark eventually spit out the camera. Not her taste, apparently.
Apparently
I don't mean
not.
to scare you if you're going to the beach this weekend, but
No, not at all.
there you go.
So a little salt and pepper and that camera would be gone.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
Yeah,
If you
not
make it by all the
tasty.
razor teeth, then, you know, there's
Yeah.
that.
At least they got the footage, too.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Kind of perspective we don't really want. Thank you, David. See you in a bit. We'll talk draft. 9:07, 71 degrees. Still ahead on GMSA at 9.
Yeah, speaking of draft, David won't be gone for too long because we have the NFL draft to talk about. He's going to go over last night's first-round picks, and he's also going to have a look at round 2 tonight.
And coming up after the break, many people would love to have their student loan debt forgiven, but what would that cost all of us in the long run? We'll explain when we come back. 11 minutes past the hour. Good morning and welcome back. Imagine what student loan forgiveness would mean for you or your family members.
Americans have an estimated $1.6 trillion in student loan debt. However, President Biden says he might try to forgive some federal student loans.
But as CNN's Amy Kiley reports, the problem is experts say that could increase inflation for all of us.
I am considering dealing with some debt reduction.
President Joe Biden says he plans to announce his decision on federal student loan relief within the next couple of weeks. Members of his own party are asking him to forgive $50,000 per borrower. That could help them in the midterms.
I am not considering $50,000 debt reduction, but I'm in the process of taking a hard look at whether or not there will be additional debt forgiveness.
Biden campaigned on forgiving a fifth of that amount, waiving what some students owe for undergraduate studies at public schools, and making community college free. He hasn't been able to do those things yet, but he has forgiven more student loan debt than any other president. And he's allowed borrowers to pause payment without interest during the pandemic.
There's been no conclusion of any process internally yet.
The catch with loan forgiveness is inflation. Canceling all federal student debt would increase the inflation rate by 0.1 to 0.5% over a year. The current proposals wouldn't go that far. Means testing could further lessen the impact, and Biden says he's open to that. The problem is Americans are already dealing with high prices.
You've seen the war interrupting all kinds of things, supply chains, creating inflation. That has a knock-on effect for companies. It makes prices higher. Consumers start to feel that.
The Federal Reserve says it plans to raise interest rates to control inflation. That has some economists worried about a recession. I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Another factor is whether President Biden has the legal authority to forgive federal student loans.
Government lawyers have been looking into that. However, the White House has not released their findings.
Back outside with live cam on your Friday, last Friday of the month of April, Justin.
Whoa.
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 That was quick.
Jump right into May and then a whole bunch of high school graduations and everything.
Yeah.
Just kind of
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
First.
Memorial
That's
Day.
coming up soon.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, as we end April, it's going to be warm and humid, pretty typical April weather. We haven't seen a whole lot of severe weather so far this season.
That's good.
There's been some here and there, but not a lot. We do have a couple more opportunities for some storms coming up, so we'll show you that here in just a second. First, though, let's go outside. We've got cloudy skies. Sun is trying to shine through in a few spots here in town. 71 degrees at the airport. Dew point is at 67. Southerly winds at about 11 miles per hour, and winds will be a little bit breezy today. I want to show you the radar real quick because we have had some light returns coming through San Antonio. That's equated to some light drizzle, some light shower activity. And that's all lifting north. None of this is going to be very heavy, but it's sort of that nuisance, drizzly stuff that if you're out and about, you may notice. As we look at the satellite picture, still pretty cloudy here around town. There are some breaks, though, as you get it down into Wilson County over towards Gonzales, Victoria, Beeville. West of town, it is full overcast, and that will keep temperatures down for a time this morning. 73 Castroville, 71 Rio Medina, 64 Bernie Stage, 69 in Bulverde. 73 right now in New Braunfels. And here's a look at some of the wind, the futurecast winds today. This is around midday. Seeing gusts anywhere from 20 to 25. Now, this is not the sustained wind. Keep in mind, this is the gust, but I think we'll see some in that range, even going into tonight. And like last night, the wind was really howling right there around 9, 10 o'clock. We could see that again with some gusts up to 30 miles per hour this evening. Here's the KSAT 12-hour forecast. If you're planning out your day or planning out your evening, 78 degrees by noontime. We should be in the upper 80s by the afternoon with some sun. 88 degrees by 4 o'clock. We'll top out close to 89. And then as we get into the 7, 8 o'clock hour, temperatures in the mid-80s. There are those breezy winds, and we should be looking at partly cloudy skies. Here's the big picture across Texas, and you can see the clouds that are stretching from San Antonio to Dallas. That's a result of all that moisture that is in place across the state at this hour. But that's mainly across East Texas, because you get into West Texas and parts of New Mexico, the air is very dry. And that's leading to a high fire danger today. In fact, a large portion of West Texas and basically all of New Mexico under the risk for a high fire danger today as the storm system pulls across the middle part of the country. This is also the same storm system that will drop a weak front into the hill country tomorrow evening, which may be just enough to get a shower or storm going, although it's looking less and less likely that that may happen. Here's our forecast for today. So this is 5 o'clock this afternoon, shows partly cloudy skies. As we get into tomorrow morning, I think some drizzle, a few more showers, much like this morning, is possible. And in fact, around 10 a.m. or so, it does show a few spotty showers popping up here around San Antonio. As we get into the 5 o'clock hour, there is that weak front. This model wants to develop a few clouds, maybe a shower or storm. I've brought the chances down to 10%. That's it. And I think the chances of any of these storms making their way down to San Antonio are really pretty low. As we get into Sunday, here we go again. Morning drizzle, morning cloud cover, and then by the afternoon, we're going to start to watch for some storms out west. Now, this is all the way to midnight Monday, and the storms out west are going to fire and start to move into our area. A few of these could be strong. The best chance of that is going to be out west, Del Rio, Rock Springs. But a few of these storms eventually could make their way towards San Antonio by early Monday morning. Just something to watch. We have a few small windows here in which we could see some rain. And as we look at the severe weather risk Sunday night, the best chance is going to be up across the Texas Panhandle, but you'll see you see Del Rio there is included in that isolated chance for some severe weather. So here's how it looks in the 7-day forecast. 88 degrees tomorrow, just that 10% chance of an afternoon storm up there in the hill country. 90 on Sunday. We put in a 20% chance late Sunday night, early Monday morning. We're back in the 90s Tuesday and Wednesday with another chance for a few afternoon storms coming up on Wednesday. So the pattern's a little more active this weekend and into next week, guys.
All right. Well, we'll take what we can get.
Yep.
Thank you, Justin.
Yep.
9:17, about 71 degrees.
And when we come back after the break, we're going to be talking the NFL Draft Round 1. David Sears is going to come back with us to break down what happened last night after the break.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
Welcome back. Let's talk NFL Draft Round 1 last night. Many of us were watching with keen interest, waiting to see what the Cowboys and the Texans would do last night.
Was it boring or was it just me?
The whole thing was a bit, shall we say, underwhelming.
I was waiting for Michael Bublé to sing.
That may have been a highlight.
If you didn't see it, Michael Bublé, since they were in Vegas, and he's doing a show in Vegas, he actually came up and was talking about the Seattle Seahawks.
He was on there. Chris Angel, Mind Freak, was on there. Though it had some Vegas flavor. There were some there were some great moments, though, for sure.
Cowboys did what the Cowboys usually do, not a whole lot on draft day. They picked their guy at 24. He was an offensive lineman. I found this interesting. This is like the fourth time they picked an offensive lineman in the first round since 2011. Before that, they'd never picked an offensive lineman. Hardly. So, this is interesting for the Cowboys, but they got this big dude out of Tulsa.
Yep.
And he can play guard or tackle. They might eventually end up moving him to tackle is what the plan is, which, this is good. Of course, we remember Terrence Steele from here in Steele High School, and then he went to Texas Tech, and he was a free agent. Signed by the Cowboys. He ended up playing a lot because of injuries last year, and now he's like basically their right tackle. So they're counting on him, which is a good thing for him, a good thing for us because he's from around here.
That's
so
right.
Like that.
This kid Tyler Smith from Tulsa, they say he's a raw talent, but will become a force in time.
Yeah.
I project he will be a starter for this coming season.
He will start at left guard.
Yes, sir.
So there you go. So if he doesn't, then we both look stupid.
The other problem, and I'm giving the Cowboys, right, and I'm giving the Cowboys a C, but the problem was I'm giving them a C for their draft last night.
Rough.
But here's the problem. Almost all their top picks were off the board by the time they were on the clock.
Actually, this guy, from what I read, this guy was like was ranked like the 16th player to go.
Right.
And so he falls to 24.
And
so
there
was even some calls coming to the Cowboys so people could move up.
Yep.
And the Cowboys didn't do anything, so they got him at 24. So that's pretty good. So they're saving a few bucks.
So C+ then.
C+. Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay.
Phew, man, you're tough graded. What do you do with the Texans?
Oh, I'm actually impressed.
Wow.
I'm actually impressed. I gave them a B+ last night. They did very well.
So they got the defensive back they needed with their first pick, the third pick in the overall first round.
LSU's Derek Stingley Jr.
Yeah, and then they made a great move. I thought this was a pretty strategic move. How do you build a team? through free agency and the draft. And if you don't have a whole lot of money because you've spent it on a whole lot of other guys, how do you got to build your team? You build it through the draft, right?
Right.
So they took their 13th pick and they traded down with Philadelphia. Apparently Philadelphia wanted the guy at 13 really bad, so they traded for the 13th pick with the Texans. So the Texans dropped to 15, and they still got their guy.
A&M outside linebacker Kenyon Green.
Yep. So they went defense on that one, and then they got more picks.
Yes, they did.
They got 3 picks out of that deal. 3 more.
They got 50 picks this year,
so,
right?
Yeah, we're gonna show you the list. So here, let's show you what the Cowboys have, and what is this the Texans? This is the Texans. So the first round they get Darryl Stingley.
Yep.
And then they get Kenyon Green, and that's their first round picks. And look at this. Round 2, they get the 37th pick. Round 3, they got the 68th and the 80th pick. Those will be done tonight. So in the first 80 picks, they've got 5. So that's pretty good. Then look on down the board. Round 4, 107, 108, 124, and then round 5, they've got more picks. 162, 166, and 170 is kind of like big numbers right there. But in other words, they've got 13 picks now and don't even have a 7th round pick. So in the first 6 rounds, they've got 13 picks. That's a lot of picks for one team.
After a draft drought for the Houston Texans, they are on the board big time. Couple other takeaways from last night real quick, David. Big night for wide receivers. 6 selected. Big night for Georgia. 5 Bulldogs selected. And quarterbacks dropped all evening long. The only one went was from Pitt. And he wound up going to Pittsburgh.
And the practice facility, the Pittsburgh Steelers facilities and the Pitt University facilities are basically the same.
Yeah.
So he's not going anywhere.
No, he's not.
Except for a different part of the building.
Kenny Pickett.
5 defensive players went in the first 5 picks. That hadn't happened in like 30 years. And 12 SEC. Don't tell me the SEC is not the dominant conference in the United States in college football, because it is.
They proved it last night.
12 SEC players went in the first round. So there's your top 5 picks. But they're all defensive guys. That hadn't happened in 3 decades. So that's pretty good. So and of course A&M, we were waiting on DeVar Mendel to get drafted.
We did.
Kid from Judson here in San Antonio. We were waiting on him. He did not go in the first round, but it's expected that he could go very early in the second round.
He'll go tonight.
So we hope so. You know what? He could fall to 50, what is it? Cowboys 56 pick?
56 pick. So maybe the Cowboys grab him then. So that's hopefully they're counting on that.
You hope he gets picked kind of early, but Cowboys could use him.
Yes,
so
they could.
That'd be kind of fun.
Well, let's see if he falls in a good way tonight.
So that would be 2 guys from San Antonio area on the Cowboys if he goes to the Cowboys in 56. He may not last that long. So.
Okay. Well, that's our draft analysis. Thank you, Dave, for joining us. Appreciate it. Steph?
Yeah, that would be cool. Thank you, guys. And because the draft starts at 6 p.m. today, there will be no 6 o'clock news this evening, and the night beat will get pushed back to 10:30 again tonight. And there's a lot more ahead on GMSA at 9, including an update on a story we first told you about on Monday, why the FAA is going after these daredevils after they attempted a plane swap in midair. And how lawmakers are getting involved in the Zelle payment app scams going around, what they're hoping to do in order to get banks to step up their security. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, 9:30 on your Friday morning.
Thanks for joining us. Let's look outside with live cam. A little murky in some areas. Humid out there at 71. Whoa.
Hi, we're back.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah,
it's not humid in here.
Hanging around. So it's been kind of drizzly in spots this morning. Persistent drizzle here in downtown area earlier this morning.
Yes.
And for the record, you guys don't look murky. You guys,
Thank you.
That looks a little murky.
You hear that, Steph?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. I heard him.
We have had some drizzle off and on this morning, and even some spotty showers. Those are really starting to come to an end. We're going to see some partly cloudy conditions later today. The sun will pop out. We're going to be in that sort of pattern really over the next week or so. I want to show you the radar real quick because, yes, we are noticing a few very light returns, and this equates to some of that light drizzle that has been reported around San Antonio. The satellite picture shows a lot of cloud cover, especially as you go west of I-35, overcast in Uvalde, Carrizo Springs, Hondo. We're still cloudy here in San Antonio, but there are some breaks just to our east. And temperatures, 72 at Randolph, 72 Seguin, 73 New Braunfels, 71 Canyon Lake, 69 in Comfort. Here's your forecast. Those clouds slowly break up. We're in the upper 70s by noontime And then this afternoon, we top out close to 90. It may even feel a little bit warmer than that thanks to all that thick humidity out there. A couple of opportunities for some storms, some small chances, but they are there. We'll discuss that coming up in just a few minutes, guys.
Thank you, Justin. Well, after 7 months, the San Antonio Symphony Board and musicians still cannot agree on contract negotiations. The sticking points, wages and staff cuts.
So what happens now? Patty Santos spoke with the executive director of the Kansas City Symphony, which decades ago found itself in a similar situation.
What's it going to take to save the San Antonio Symphony? Kansas City Symphony Executive Director Daniel Beckley says a commitment from members to put away bad blood and leaders with deep pockets.
To stand behind it and say, we're gonna hold you up for a little while so that you can achieve this new vision.
He says it's what saved the KC Symphony 40 years ago when the then Philharmonic filed for bankruptcy and dissolution. Donors teamed up to give the organization a stronger future.
You have a consortium of people that have come together to say, we want to do this and we are going to champion this. And then you have a group of people that can provide some fuel to that effort.
The KC Symphony draws about 40% of their revenue from ticket sales, followed by philanthropic support and revenue from its $47 million endowment.
Has been very carefully developed over the last several years. And so we've been experiencing a lot of the appreciation in the market. That's really made that endowment grow quite a lot.
Members of the San Antonio Symphony say their vision to follow the lead of other major organizations and increase fundraising and endowment growth has been met with resistance.
The answer is to expand the net, to explain to individuals and to the people making the decisions at the corporate level how it is that they're benefiting from the presence of the San Antonio Symphony and why it is that they should want to be part of our success.
Back in February, Executive Director Corey Coward said the unique histories of the city and symphony makes fundraising a challenge.
We have decades of organizational distrust.
In a statement today, he says, quote, realistic budgeting is what we are committed to now. Going forward, it is critical for funders to be confident that when they give to an endowment, they are building the future of the symphony, not addressing a short-term crisis need. Beckley says a symphony is an economic driver.
A lot of the big companies, when they're looking at a place to establish a headquarters, they want to see a strong, vibrant culture.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
And now to an update on the rise in scammers taking advantage of the popular payment app Zelle and its customers. After tricking some people out of thousands of dollars, lawmakers are now demanding answers. One victim said someone called her claiming to be from her bank, and they texted her a confirmation ID and told her to protect her money by going into her bank account and transferring it to a Zelle account in her name. However, the whole thing was a scam. The account belonged to a scammer and the money was gone. Zelle is a mobile payment transfer service embedded in your banking app that allows you to send money to people directly bank to bank. Now, reports are pouring in with other people who were tricked by these fraudsters.
It's just scary. The money's gone.
He had my name, date of birth, and my account number. Who the heck would have all that information?
And the call dropped and it was gone. And so was the money.
I was shivering. I was crying. That was all the money I had.
This week, Senators Elizabeth Warren and Robert Menendez sent a letter to Zelle's CEO calling reports of a rise in fraud and scams on Zelle disturbing, adding it's putting millions of consumers at risk. A hearing was scheduled yesterday with the House Financial Services Committee to consider closing a loophole in existing fraud laws. It would make it so that if a scammer uses social engineering to dupe a consumer into authorizing one of these transfers, there would be a greater liability for the banks. So maybe that will get banks to add in extra layers of security.
Now to an update on a story we first told you about on Monday. The Federal Aviation Administration going after content creators on social media attempting dangerous stunts like this. Mid-air stunts to land clicks and views. This plane swap stunt we showed you earlier this week. As CNN's Pete Muntean reports, this latest case has some fearing that flying is the latest frontier for those risking it all to create over-the-top viral videos.
They are high-flying spectacles meant to attract millions of views, but now those behind them have become the newest targets of federal authorities. Just this month, the Federal Aviation Administration has cracked down following 3 incidents. Suspending the license of a YouTube pilot the FAA said flew too low, revoking the license of the YouTuber who parachuted from a supposedly crashing airplane, and opening an investigation into Sunday's plane swap skydiving stunt gone wrong that sent an out-of-control Cessna crashing into the Arizona desert.
We're both here, we're both good to go, everybody's safe and sound, and I guess that's the important part.
Veteran skydivers Andy Farrington and Luke Aikens survived the stunt, which required 2 diving planes to be momentarily empty under the control of an autopilot. But in documents shared with CNN, days before, the FAA denied Aikens' request to be exempt from the rule that requires pilots at the controls all the time. Aikens did not return our multiple requests for comment.
I can't defend it. And I don't think they can either.
Aviation journalist and skydiver Paul Bertorelli says the FAA will likely pursue larger punishment, especially since the agency just revoked the license of Trevor Jacob, whose I Crashed My Plane YouTube video has been seen more than 2 million times. The FAA says Jacob purposely caused the crash, jumping out while holding a camera attached to a selfie stick.
He needed someone to put the brake on him. Well, now the FAA's putting the brake on him.
Now, experts fear flying has found itself at the center of over-the-top viral video culture, where competition for clicks is coming before good judgment.
Everyone is trying to one-up, which means you have to do the most outlandish thing. You have to do the most eye-popping thing, something that's going to grab attention.
That was Pete Muntean reporting. Now, YouTuber Trent Palmer is appealing the FAA's decision to have his pilot's license suspended. He says he was cited for flying low, even though he insists he was following FAA rules.
The pandemic has affected so many aspects of our lives, and one of the big changes was for children in school. ABC's Ariel Reshef takes a look at the pandemic's impact on education and how far kids are falling behind in school.
Continent. Say it fast.
Chrissy Franz has been a teacher for 17 years at Emma Donan Elementary and Middle School in Indianapolis.
Say, you go, girl.
You go, girl. Her concentration is on the building blocks of literacy, and Franz says she's noticed for many, foundational reading skills are behind.
I've noticed a big impact on my scholars as a result of the pandemic. Scholars who are learning from home, learning all these sounds and learning all these concepts, but with a mask over our faces.
A December 2021 report showed middle school children nationwide were scoring about 9 to 11 percentile points lower in math and 3 to 7 percentile points lower in reading compared to historic averages. In fact, research comparing testing numbers from 2019 to 2021 found that more than 1 in 3 children in kindergarten through 3rd grade are considered far behind in reading, requiring intensive intervention to achieve performance at their grade level. Fran says that's reflected in many of her 3rd grade students.
We still have scholars who are still sounding out very 1st grade level words. We are seeing scholars who are sometimes behind half a grade level, a whole grade level.
Dr. Karen Lewis is a senior research scientist who has conducted multiple studies on the pandemic's effect on education.
What we're seeing now at the start of the 21-22 school year is that achievement in both reading and math is lower than historic averages.
And experts say students of color and students in high poverty areas have been impacted the most.
The achievement gaps that already existed before the pandemic have only been dramatically exacerbated over the 2 years. We need to be leaning in really hard to make sure we do everything possible to provide supports to those students.
There's plenty of other kids who, in the first lunch.
In Washington, D.C., Cassandra Gentry is raising her 11-year-old granddaughter, Jada, and says she has seen her reading fall behind grade level.
She was about to go into the 4th grade when all of this happened. Now she's on her way to middle school, and we're still playing catch up.
Now her grandmother, who happens to be a reading tutor, is focused on helping her gain the ground and confidence she lost with supplemental learning.
I'm just trying to get her to know that once she reads, she can get so much knowledge from reading, and it makes you feel so much better about yourself.
Back in Indiana, Fran says being in person and free after-school programs are already helping kids catch up.
Get ready, this next syllable is?
But experts say it could take years to get back on track.
One bright spot or a piece of good news is we already know that students who are lowest achieving also tend to grow at the fastest rates over the course of the year.
And that was Ariel Reshef reporting.
Time now, 9:41, about 72 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9.
When we come back, how you can save money on your next trip to the grocery store.
Exactly 9:45. Federal data shows Americans are paying 10% more for groceries than just 1 year ago.
Of course, buying generics and using coupons can help, but 12 on your side's Marilyn Morris has more ways to stretch your dollar next time you head to the store.
It's costing more to bring home the bacon and most everything else. Erin Chase, the $5 dinner mom, says it pays to get intentional, down to the laundry. Her first cost-cutting strategy, stretch.
I think the first thing to think about is how you can stretch anything, especially things that you're using often. So dryer sheets. Cut them in half, cut them into thirds.
She even cut out paper towels by reusing cloth.
I have not paid for paper towels in maybe like a decade.
Next, think homemade with what you already have.
You can probably make a homemade taco seasoning. So skip the packet. They're $1.25. Skip the packet and mix up a batch. It's a couple teaspoons of a couple common spices that you probably already have in your pantry.
Buy in bulk for things you use a lot of and that last, like flour or grains. And her super savvy way to save cold hard cash on meat, her freezer.
The very best, easiest, and fastest way to lower your grocery bill is to buy meat when it's on sale and immediately turn it into a freezer meal.
Freezer meals. Just divide the meat, add veggies, seasonings, and sauces, and dinner and savings are in the bag for weeks. Food prices are not expected to come down soon, so she says spending more time means spending less money.
Say you save $5 every week. That's $250 at the end of the year. Say you save $10 every week by just doing a couple of these small things. $500 on the year.
The price of meat is really eating family budgets. The key, Erin says, is stretching your protein. Tomorrow at 5, we'll show you how she does that. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Taking a look outside with live cam. Not too sunny out there. Maybe we should enjoy the little break we have because it'll be warm this weekend.
Yeah, the clouds do help us keep temperatures down, so that's always a nice thing. It is cloudy right now, and we're going to start off cloudy this morning. Want to show you a picture here on our KSAT Connect. Hey, guys.
Hi.
Check it out. It's kind of hard to see. There's a duck there at the bottom of your screen, and the person who sent this in said someone missing a duck.
Aww.
Looks like it's in a swimming pool.
You know what we call that one?
What's that?
Lucky duck.
Yeah. You know what I would say? I'd say, hey, duck, don't go chasing waterfalls. Stick to the rivers and lakes that you're used to.
Yeah, you're used to.
Yeah. Just saying.
Good one, Justin.
Thank you. And that's a perfect segue. Let's talk about lakes.
There you go. Almost like you planned that.
Medina is 19% full. We need some more rain there. It's that reservoir. It's still dropping as of last check, and we're down 16 feet from a year ago. Canyon doing well. It's pretty steady level, like 97%. Choke Canyon's at 40%. It's actually up from last year. That Amistad, we've been looking at that pretty closely. They have had some rain out there, but it didn't really respond all that much. It's at 42% full, about where it's been over the last month or so. Here's a look at the radar. We've got some light showers that are tracking through, very light stuff that is moving south to north, pretty much in the form of just some drizzle. But there could be some wet roads out there here and there as this activity moves through. A lot of cloud cover too. Over Bexar County, we're cloudy. Some breaks though as you go into Wilson County over towards Gonzales, and then you go west of San Antonio. It is cloudy for the most part, and it will stay that way for the next several hours. It'll take until the afternoon for these clouds to break up. A little closer look here at San Antonio, and we're at 72 Port SA, 69 Helotes, 66 Bernie Stage, 71 right now Canyon Lake. And dew points are sky high. They're close to 70, so we're very much in the oppressive category. It's going to feel sticky all day long. Now, as we look at the big picture here with the dew points, we can see where the dry line is very clearly here across West Texas. And that dry line is going to advance east today. And behind it, there's some very dry air. So there's going to be a high fire danger for most of West Texas and New Mexico. That does not include us. We're going to stay on the humid side of things. But there could be some fires, unfortunately, across the Texas Panhandle today as this storm system moves east. It will also help to create some severe weather across the plains. So Wichita up to Omaha, parts of Nebraska and Kansas, that's where there is a high risk of severe weather today, well to our north. But a few storms could even develop into far north Texas. For us, it's a quiet day. We mentioned the drizzle this morning and then partly cloudy skies this afternoon. This is around 5 o'clock. As we get into tomorrow morning, drizzle, a few more showers. I think we could see a couple work their way in mid-morning. This is around 10 a.m. showing a few light showers in the area. And then a weak frontal boundary works into the hill country Saturday evening. Now, it doesn't really progress any farther than that, and it doesn't really do much, I think, at developing thunderstorms. But there is a chance there, 10%. We've lowered that just a little bit. If we were to see a storm, it could be strong to severe, so that's why we need to mention it. Then drizzle returns Sunday morning. And Sunday afternoon will be partly cloudy. But by late Sunday night, early Monday, midnight, we'll be watching some storms that will have developed out west. These will also have the potential to be strong to severe. Decent chances of storms Del Rio to Rock Springs. The big question will be, will these make it to San Antonio by Monday morning? There's a chance there. It's a low chance, but there is a chance nonetheless. And you'll see that here in the 7-day forecast. So 89 degrees today, 88 on Saturday with the morning drizzle and that small chance of an isolated afternoon storm there in the hill country. 90 on Sunday, 20% chance late with some of those storms lingering over into Monday morning, 87. Then we're in the 90s Tuesday and Wednesday with another small chance for rain. We have some storm systems moving across the country. The unfortunate part is they're just a little too far north to give us any really good rain chances, but there are some there in the 7-day forecast, guys.
Back to the 90s.
Yes.
Like your TLC throwback.
Ah, well done. Yes.
Thanks, Justin.
Yeah.
Time now, 9:51, and we just want to clarify that Maryland story that's about how to make the most of your protein that you buy at the store. That's going to air today at 5 p.m.
Just a little footnote to the story we just aired right before full weather with Justin. Okay, now it's 9:51, 72 degrees.
We'll be right back.
Broadway Bank is still celebrating Earth Day by hosting their first Community Shred Day since 2019.
So it's a great opportunity to get rid of any important documents you no longer need in a safe way. It also helps divert paper from landfills, which helps the environment.
The event is free and open to the public. Bring your items to the Broadway Bank main branch off 410 near Nacogdoches from 9 to noon tomorrow. You don't even have to get out of your car. You just have papers in a box. Go through the drive-thru and a volunteer will unload your boxes for you. There is a limit of 5 medium boxes per person, so try to be courteous and follow the rules.
All right, 72 right now, cloudy skies. Once we get some clearing, temperatures will warm up into the upper 80s today, 88 tomorrow. Small chance for a few storms in the hill country tomorrow evening. Otherwise, we'll be looking for a few storms Sunday night into early Monday. Nothing that jumps off the page there. Most of your weekend will be just fine. Hot, humid, and breezy.
It is hard to believe, but tomorrow is the last day of April.
Already. On Monday, we're going to be talking about some deals to look out for in the month of May.
We've got Mother's Day coming up, Memorial Day. There are even some deals thanks to Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you.
That's right. We're going to share those deals with you on Monday at GMSA at 9.
And again, a programming note for tonight.
That's right. The 6 o'clock newscast will not be happening because of the NFL draft, and the night beat is going to start at 10:30.
We hope you have a great rest of your Friday, people.
Have a good weekend.